Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 banners that I recommend pulling for on the limited triple group summon banner, which is coming out in the near future, I think about 2 or 3 weeks from now. And this is mostly going to be catered to newer players. But if you guys did not already know about the event, basically in a couple weeks you can choose 3 banners for the chosen hero and artifact, excluding collab units and excluding some of the newer limited units such as Summertime Hysteria. But basically all of the RGB 5-star units are going to be on the table. You can basically choose anything. This includes like Luna if you wanted Luna, like a Vivian if you wanted a Vivian or something like that, or even like a Tamron, right, and stuff like that. And basically you get to choose 3 banners. You get to pull on those 3 banners at the same time, and you'll get a coin every time you pull. And if you save up enough coins, you can buy the artifact and heroes from the shop one time. Very cool. I think that Smilegate's adding this to allow newer players to catch up with the meta, because a lot of the PvE units are very hard to get in the game. You have to wait for their banner to come around, and it feels really bad if you're new to the game, you don't have like a Tamron and everyone says just use Tamron, right? So I think Smilegate's doing a nice job helping out the newer players to the game, and this is going to be a very cool event in the future. Now that being said, we do have a Instagram giveaway going out right now. We are going to be giving away Google Play points, and if you guys are interested in that, check out my Instagram post in the comment section pinned down below. Basically all you have to do is follow me on Instagram, like my post, and just comment your favorite movie, and you'll be able to enter the draw. And the draw will end in about 2.5 weeks from now, and I'll be notifying the people that win personally if they win. So that being said, let's get into the video. What are the top 5 units for the triple banner? We're going to start with the number 1 unit. So yes, this should be no surprise to anyone, especially because this is catered to newer players. We have Tamron. Now, before we go over Tamron's skills, let me just talk about where she's good in. PvE, she is good everywhere. Basically everywhere, except like Wyvern, you can pretty much bring her everywhere. She's a very powerful unit. You can use her in basically almost every hunt besides Wyvern. You can use her in every single expedition. You can use her in every single abyss floor. You can use her in all the hell raid bosses, everywhere in adventure. It's just very good. The only thing is she's not used in PvP, but as a newer player, you're not going to really be focusing on that. Tamron just makes PvE so easy, which is why she has to be number 1 on this list. Let's go over her skills real quick if you don't know what she does. So her S3 is basically going to start on cooldown, and every time you take a turn, you'll actually shave off 2 turns off this. So it's really nice to skill enhance it, because once you get it to 8 turns, which is an even number, you'll only need 4 turns to actually get this off of cooldown. And when you use this, basically it cleanses everyone on your team, recovers Tamron's HP to full, and you get an extra turn, and you'll become an idol. Now idol will basically upgrade your skills. So her S2 without idol form is just a heal, that's AoE. With idol form, it's an AoE heal with an increased attack of everyone for 2 turns, and also CR pushes by 50%. It's crazy skill, attack buff with CR push with a lot of healing. Her S1 is a normal attack in normal form, which will only heal 1 ally, but in idol form it's an AoE attack, triggers a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack, and will AoE strip the enemy. Very powerful. This makes her super strong in basically every area of content. You have a cleanse, you have a heal, you have AoE attack buff, you have a CR push, you have an AoE strip and cleanse, you have DPS potential because you're always going to be triggering a dual attack from your strongest teammate. Very powerful unit. Definitely recommend getting her if you haven't gotten her already. The only downside is Tamron's banner hasn't run in a while, so the chances of them doing this triple banner and then releasing Tamron after is pretty high, so that's the only downside. But if you don't want to gamble on it, then I definitely recommend making sure you take Tamron for one of your banners. The next banner that I'm going to recommend is the Landy banner. So Landy is very strong. Where is she good in PvE? Basically everywhere that's not a fire boss, similar to Tamron. The only thing is, she is a little bit more replaceable than Tamron because you can always slot in another DPS for her and have similar results, although Landy is a bit better than a lot of the DPS. In PvP, she's also very strong. She's not as OP as she used to be, but nowadays she's, still very strong. You can use her in Guild Wars, defense and offense. You can use her in Arena, defense and offense, and you can use her in RTA, World Arena all the time. So I still use her like basically every day in RTA. She's a very strong pick, so I really recommend that you pick her up. Now looking at her skills real quick, her S3 is an AoE attack that will increase speed, also increase CR by 15%, and when your fighting spirit is full, you will use all your fighting spirit to penetrate defense by 50%, and this skill will not trigger a counterattack. Now her S2 is the reason why she's very strong as a DPS unit. She will increase her attack by 20% every turn that she attacks. You can also increase this with dual attacks, and at the start of the turn you'll get 10 fighting spirit for each buff granted to the enemy, and when your fighting spirit is full you'll reset your S3 cooldown and you'll start the battle with 50 fighting spirit. So yeah, this will make it so that she can penetrate defense pretty easily, very strong against buff heavy teams. Her S1 is a single target attack that will increase her own CR by 10%, and this CR increase will double, and the fighting spirit will also double when the enemy is buffed. Very strong unit. She's a very good DPS unit. She has, you know, AoE potential. She will shred through tanks. She has stacking attack in her S2. She has very strong damage in her S1 actually. That will also give her a lot of CR. And she also has a speed buff for her team, which is very nice. Very powerful unit. Definitely recommend picking her up. This is why she's at the number 2 spot. Number 3, we have none other than SSB. Now before I get started with SSB though, keep in mind that her banner will come around in like July, so if you guys can wait until July, then I do recommend waiting and picking up someone else on this list. Otherwise, she's a very good unit. You can never go wrong with getting her a few months early, especially because her artifact pretty much needs to be maxed out at plus 30 to be useful. But yeah, SSB, Seaside Bologna, very good in PvE. You can use her basically similar to Landy in a lot of areas of content. You just have to be careful because she has a lot of debuffs. So against like Hell Queen, you might not be able to use her. Against some Abyss Floors, you might not be able to use her. And against Earth bosses, you most likely will not be able to use her as well. She's also a very good unit in Wyvern, and you actually will benefit by having her for Wyvern 13 one-shot. So it's a very good pickup. For PvP, she's not as used as much, but she's still a good counter pick in like World Arena. You're not going to see her anywhere else besides World Arena, and World Arena is mostly for late game players. But in World Arena, she does have some usage still. I'm not going to go too in depth about it. Her S3 is an AoE attack, has a 100% chance to make enemies unbuffable and unhealable, and crits will actually do extra damage on this, and you can soul burn it for ignore effect resist. Her S2 is the biggest reason why she's really good. She's going to redirect 30% of the damage to the ally in the front, and every time an ally gets attacked, she gets 1 focused, and when an ally is attacked and the caster's at 5 focus, so herself, she will activate a counter attack which will do AoE damage with a 50% chance to defense break. This is the reason why she's really good. You put her on her own artifact Drinked and she will do a lot of damage over and over. Very good against teams that have a lot of AoE. S1 is a single target attack with a target chance. This one's also pretty strong hitting skill, but not as strong as, you know, some other S1s. Very strong unit. Definitely recommend picking her up. This is why she's at the number 3 spot. She's a very powerful unit. And at number 4, we have Sigrid, the Queen of Wyvern. So yes, she is the best DPS and the best debuffer for Wyvern by far. You can use her in normal Wyvern teams. She'll speed up your runs and make them more consistent. In Wyvern one-shot, she's very good. PvP, you don't really use her that much, although she's kind of cheesy in like arena offense teams with like A-lots, but yeah, don't worry about that too much. Basically, for her skills, her S1 is going to be, or S3 is going to be a single target attack that will do defense penetration, and with debuffs on the enemy it'll do even more, and it will extinct the enemy when they die, so it's really good against Arbiter Villages for, you know, preventing that S2 revive. Her S2 is a single target attack that has 2 debuffs built in, and when the enemy's health is 50% or less, she will activate her S1 as an extra attack with an extra 100% chance of bleeding. Very good. And her S1 is going to be that 50% chance of bleeding for 2 turns. Has 2 bleeding effects actually, which makes it very strong. So you can see she has a lot of debuffs, and it makes it so her S3 hits even harder, which makes her a very good DPS unit. And both her S2 and S1 actually do crazy amounts of damage as well if you put her on Daydream Joker with high crit chance. You're also going to see from her exclusive equipment, her second one for Sever is going to increase the chance of bleeding by 20%, so this goes to 70%. Very powerful. You can see why she's so good for Wyvern. She can solo debuff the boss, and remember you need to have at least 2 debuffs on the boss for it to hit your frontline, so she becomes a very strong unit. If you guys don't have her already, I still recommend getting her because even though you already have a Wyvern team running, Sigrid will make your runs faster and more consistent, and she will also be required for your Wyvern one-shot in the future if you're not going to use Rem there. Very powerful unit, guys. Definitely picking her up. That's why, or definitely recommend picking her up, because that's why she's going to be at the number 4 spot. And at number 5, we have Rwanda. So Rwanda has been a very good unit for a very long time. Very good in PvE because of her S2, and also very good in PvP because of her S2. So in PvP, she's good as a counter unit, like counter, good against like Rem, good against like SSB and stuff like that. PvE, she's also good against bosses with extra attacks or counter attacks. Basically, you're going to see why when we go over her skills because of her S2. S3 is an AoE heal that will also give revive buff, very strong. S2 is the main reason why she's really good. Basically, every time your team's attacked or an ally is attacked by an extra attack, counter attack, or dual attack, she will CR push everyone by 5% per attacked ally, and this will heal and also CR push. So very, very strong, and the amount healed will also increase depending on the amount of allies that get attacked. So you'll see this is very good against like SSB or even Rem counterattacks because she will be constantly healing and constantly CR pushing. Also very good in certain bosses from Adventure and Abyss and Raid, which have extra attacks. Even in Raid, like, you need her for auto Hell Raid teams, so very, very good unit in that regard. But she's just very cheesy with her S2, and in certain bosses, she just becomes super OP. But if you guys don't take advantage of her S2, guys, she's a pretty weak unit, so you really want to make sure you bring her into situations where her S2 will be proccing a lot. S1 is going to be a single target attack that will grant a barrier to an ally with the lowest HP. This one's not that great, although you'll see her in PvP on like counter sets to take advantage of this with like Celestine to actually heal as well. So yeah, that's how you can use her S1 in PvP. But in general, mostly for S2, there's a lot of builds for her, but Rwanda is really nice because you can put her on basically the free HP set you get at the beginning of the game, and she's basically still usable in PvP. That's how strong her S2 is. So I definitely recommend getting her. She will make light work of Episode 3 and Episode 4. She will be very good for your Hell Raid Adventure. She'll be good for your Katie's team. She'll be good for just PvP in general. There's a lot of areas you can use her, and I definitely recommend picking her up at the number 5 spot. So that being said, this pretty much concludes the top 5 list, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this to help you guys out, make sure you guys leave a like and you subscribe. And also make sure you check out that giveaway on my Instagram page. Should be in the comments down below. I really hope to see you guys there. I'm going to be pulling, I think, on the 26th or 27th from the draw, and we'll be basically messaging whoever wins personally on how to get your reward. That being said, guys, hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.